Hello, Rolf.
Hello.
Great to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too.
How's everything going over there in the Netherlands?
Going very well. I
Good.
think most of the winter is behind us, so
Oh, that's wonderful. We had a mild winter over here in California.
here it was very wet.
Oh, really? Okay. What time is it for you over there?
7:50, 10 to 8.
Okay, cool. Great time to do some JavaScript, right?
I'd say so, yes. I'm
Cool.
waiting for
Well,
this all day.
me too, actually, but not as long. Um, so, tell me a bit about why you're learning JavaScript.
Well, it started because I wanted to write a journal
Mm-hmm.
because I was looking for a new job. And so I thought I have to get my thoughts together, see what I actually want in life.
Yeah.
A journal can be a great way, I thought. And then I started doing it in Word, and it wasn't working out for me. So then I
Mm-hmm.
tried building something in Python, but that was all in terminal, all the inputs as well, and I thought, this doesn't look right. Doesn't this isn't fun. Also not
Yeah, I know
uh,
what
enticing to journal. So then I thought, okay, well maybe if I make a web app, I can also do some cool designs, and then I can start journaling. So that's why I started building this.
Yeah, that's so cool. So you use journaling as a way to reflect on where you are in life.
Well, I hope to do so. I've not started yet. I'm just building the app until now.
Got it. Yeah, of course. We need to have the perfect app built first before we can start to do our journaling.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. And yeah, what a great way to learn JavaScript, which is a skill which is not going away anytime soon. So
Yes.
cool. I'd love to see what you've built already.
Okay.
So do you see where you can share your screen?
Present. Easiest with two monitors. Okay. Yes. Which screen? Uh,
How long have you been coding in JavaScript?
since January.
Okay.
So yeah, this is all just me and ChatGPT.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's not. I'm not a professional computer scientist.
Like most of us.
Open system. Wait, let me just get this sorted because.
Sure. Make sure to close all your tabs. Any IP, private keys, or other sensitive information, I'm not liable for if it is leaked to the viewers.
Oh wait, I actually have to quit Firefox for a second. So
Oh, Firefox. Yeah. Yo, Kareem, what's going on? How's your morning been? Yeah, so today we're just going to be making a journaling app for Rolf. He has briefly left the chat to reconfigure his browser. But yeah, Rolf is sort of, um, if you missed the story at the beginning, Rolf is in between jobs and he is looking for a great way to reflect. And he's going to do that by creating a journaling app, which he can then use to write down his thoughts. So, yeah, he's been learning JavaScript since January, and he's been working pretty hard at it. So, I will be helping him today to. I will be helping him today to, yeah, to go through the app that he's built and see what new features we can add to it. Hey, Rolf, you're back.
oh hey, okay. So let's try this again. Share screen.
Try that again.
Screen one. Screen two. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
So just start this up.
Walk us through it.
Um,
So is this a full stack application role?
yes. Well, this is, let's say, everything that I've got.
Amazing. Cool.
Yes.
Is there a
So
way
this
you
is. Can you see my screen now?
Yeah, but could you zoom in a bit for everyone?
Like this.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Okay. So
however
this is
cool.
what I've got until now as a login screen. I meant. So maybe it's fun to start showing what I've got by registering as a new user.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes. So let's try something out here. Uh, as a username,
Hmm.
actually, this should be at least 4 characters, I think.
Oh, really?
Um, screen name, okay, and then as a password,
So
must
this
not
is
forget this. Sorry.
so. Am I going to be sharing my notes and thoughts with other people, or is this just for me personally?
Well, no, this is actually personal, and most of my work up until now has also been in encrypting everything. So that's also stored securely
Okay,
on the server, end-to-end encrypted. So let me just pick a password
that's
that I.
cool. I love that. I love that bar.
Yeah. So this is maybe what we can work on later. Do some do some of the styling of the layout. So these the security code. So because it's end-to-end encrypted, what I'm going to get now is like a recovery code,
Uh-huh.
so that whenever you lose your password, you can get all your data back
Oh, wow,
uh,
that is sweet.
with this code, and by filling out the security questions as well. So I'm just copy pasting this code so that I won't forget, and also my username so that I don't forget.
Uh-huh.
And then I guess if we click here, we should be. Oh. Let me just type that out.
How did you make that bar? That's very cool.
ChatGPT helped me with that actually. I did not look. I did not do it myself.
Original, yeah.
So okay, so now we've registered as a new user. We have our security code. We have our login. This is our user password and password. I'm gonna log in. Okay, I'm just gonna save this for now. This is basically where everything happens. Um, so by default, we are journaling for today. This is something. So this is, for example, an input field. You can call this maybe, and then just I don't know, to give your day a name. This is in Dutch, but this is like different emotions that you maybe have experienced that day. Uh,
Can you explain what does the version number mean?
oh yeah, so you can save an entry, and then it has a version. So that's what that means. So because we haven't made an entry yet for Tuesday. So that's why this is the first version, or version number 1. This is not an input field, by the way, at least. So these are some emotions. Now I've got some great graphics as well. I hope this works. So this is
Yeah.
nice emotion wheel, where you can maybe look at some some words to articulate your feelings,
Yeah.
which I can hide and show here. Well, okay, and then yeah, once we've passed this, we can make some more comments about how we felt. It was great, a great day streaming with James, for example.
Yeah.
And then we've got a section that's called the energy audit.
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't say I would fill this out every day, but this is just, I don't know, some questions you can ask yourself. If you slept enough, if you have had breakfast frequently, um, just some questions to reflect on your day-to-day life. Mm, this is a section where we can note some important events, some
Mhm.
challenges, learnings. What I was grateful for, also very important. For example, some goals for tomorrow. Go for a run, for example.
That's a good goal.
That's a great goal. And
Yeah.
then an open section to see. I don't know, to maybe summarize your day. Is what I would use it for. Okay, and then at the bottom you can save your entry, and then it says of this day and version number 1. And then in this little calendar, you can see there's a red dot because you've made an entry for that day.
Okay.
Um,
And where can I see the past entries?
so if we would have a past entry, then for example, for
Oh,
yesterday there was also a red dot. Maybe you can make something now. So for example, here we can save this, and
mhm.
then we can also review the entry of that day.
Got it. Okay,
Yeah.
so you already have something that works.
Yes, and else actually, so I can make a PDF of it, so you can store it or print it, and then you can make some notes with a pen, or maybe I don't know, so that you have a hard copy of it. I thought that may be nice to have, and
And
then we've got that. Let me just save this a couple of times because I can show you one last feature of this website. Something here, something here. Actually, I don't need to make any edits. I can just save it again and again. So then, okay, I can log out. And then suppose, okay, I forgot my password.
right.
We can go ahead and do this. Fill out our security questions. Then they will be verified. Now I have to be.
Wait, how does the security question work?
So basic. So these are 3 security questions. So they could be, for example, the first street
Got it.
you lived in
Oh,
this
so in
city.
reality, would it put those questions there, or would it just say security question
No,
one?
no, I meant that these are meant to be like normal questions, but
Okay,
this is
got
just
it.
a placeholder for now.
Oh, okay, I got it.
Yeah. So this is a way to recover, let's say, your data, and then if I would be able to remember my 20-digit code, which I am able to this time, I can verify this, and then
So
we can pick a new password. Again, now it's getting cool. I'm getting a new recovery code for if I lose my password again. And then
so the
we
old
can
one
go
is no
into
longer
here.
valid.
Sorry?
So the old one is no longer valid.
No, the old one is no longer valid. Well, actually, you do have to keep it for just a sec. So because all the data is end-to-end encrypted,
Yeah.
now we're going to load all the entries on your browser, and they would recrypt them with your new password, and then send them back to the server. So we are doing this now. So we've got 6 submissions, and it's busy recrypting everything with our new password. and that's it. And now we can go home, can use our new password. Down. And let's see. Yes. Okay. So we've got all our entries back, recrypted. So that's basically what I've got.
Wow. And so you taught yourself how to make this in 2 months?
Well, yeah, with the help of ChatGPT, of course. But yes.
That's I'm very proud of you, Rolf.
Oh, thanks.
That's really cool. That's a lot of work.
Yeah, yeah. It took me some time to get started, to understand how you set things up. But yeah, once you understand what questions you have to ask, ChatGPT can go really fast.
Cool. Yeah, I think so too. Like a lot of it is just figuring out what the right questions are to ask is the hard part.
hmm Yeah, there's some
Uh-huh.
JavaScript things that I don't yet fully understand, like promises and like await and these kind of things, async. But whenever such an error pops up, I just post paste my my code in ChatGPT, and then he'll sort that out for me.
You can survive for quite a long time without understanding async and promises. Eventually, it will get the better of you, but you can survive for a while. And it still gets the better of me sometimes. But before we go forward, actually, so we have 6 people watching.
Oh,
And
whoops.
AI Story says, yay, we'll probably get to learn something today. And I'm already learning stuff. So, but before we go forward, yeah, if anyone watching like me, I'd like to be like the second user of this. If anyone else watching would like to be like a user of this, yeah, just let us know. Write down a comment that you'd like to use it, and we will keep you up to date. So as soon as it goes live, then you can be one of the first users.
Exactly. Yeah, that would be great if people start using it. I wonder, yeah, maybe if I overlooked some very important thing that they might want to see as a feature. I was thinking myself maybe add a to-do list as well, but these things. Let me know.
Oh, we have one person. It is a Olivier Wittmann.
Oh,
He
okay.
says, "I would
Hey,
love."
Ollie.
He says, "I would love to try it out." And then we have a question from Kareem. Kareem says, "Does it have AI?"
No, it does not. No. Well, at least no, it does not have AI. But maybe let me know what I can use AI for here. Maybe
Yeah,
analyzing your emotions.
yeah, for sure. And it does have a lot of okay. It does have a lot of EI, emotional intelligence, which is even more powerful. And we have one more person. So we have Mahad Khalid, um, who is another great participant here on the channel, and he would like to try it as well. So
Cool.
cool. So we have a couple people already eager to try it out.
Great. Well, then I guess we have to start working to get it finished.
Yeah, let's get to work. So yeah, tell me about your like I don't know any struggles that you've been having, ambitions, challenges.
Uh, yeah, I think so. This was what I have now is the functionality that I was looking for when I started. Of course, you have always more features that you want to add, but it would be great to have this working now. And I think the final touch would be to add some layout, a nice layout to it, a nice not that is not like this. I would say something that
Sure.
looks better than this. And I've been looking at CSS a bit. ChatGPT has also been helping out, but
Mhm.
I really want some like a nice integral style and to understand how we can apply it to the website.
Yeah, cool. Have you checked out Tailwind CSS at all?
No.
Tailwind CSS is like, I was just curious. It's like a short form version of CSS that a lot of people are using these days. But that might be one thing that helps, but we don't have to use that. We can also use normal CSS, which is good to learn. Tell me like how do you visualize it? Tell me a bit more like how you visualize this, how it would be laid out.
Yeah, good question. I don't know. I thought maybe these need to be pages that you can flip through, but then you lose oversight, or at least what you're doing.
Yeah.
So maybe it's better to keep everything on one page, and you can and just scroll through it. I think, yeah, I think maybe that's
Yeah.
better for now. And then, yeah, maybe, yeah, it depends. Center these text boxes, maybe so a nice header bar here, for example. Maybe some like the hamburger thing, so you can also go to your user info, something like this.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we can definitely like play around with CSS today, and I can show you a bunch of examples. And then, how do you want to, when you're ready, like, how do you want to ship this? How do you want to put it out there?
I thought just as a website.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think for me at least, I would use it via my on my laptop,
Mm-hmm.
because it's easier to type.
Yeah.
But maybe we can make, if it would be responsive to, for example, a smartphone screen, that would be great, of course, to also have it available on your phone. But I think
Well,
most
we
of the
can.
time I would at least use it on my laptop.
Okay, cool. What's the back end?
So the backend is also all JavaScript.
Uh-huh.
I can show you here. Can you see this?
Yeah, the text is pretty small.
Okay.
That's good.
I'm not sure how this is for. This is just all JavaScript, and I use Node to run
Let us know, by the way, if the text is too small. We'll make it bigger.
to
Cool. So you're
run.
using Node.js.
Yeah,
Cool.
exactly. Yeah. So I've got, this is just a structure that I got from ChatGPT, where I've got something that's called controllers, where most of the logic is. Then
Mm-hmm.
I've got middleware for authentication, and then routing like
Cool.
this.
Okay.
So this is how it looks on the back end.
Yeah. So the main framework that you're using is ExpressJS, I think.
I think so. Let me just show you this. Yes, it says here Express.
And then you have, yeah, as opposed to something like Next.js. And then you have like a user database. And how does it, yeah, how does that work?
So I've got two databases. I can maybe show you actually what that looks like.
Uh-huh.
1 second. I can print them in Excel so we can see them. Um, let's see what's this now. Yeah. Okay. So we've got one user database with a ID, user ID, username. So this is the, oh, whoops, this is the user that we just created.
Yeah.
username, email, and then this is all just passwords. So this is what is it
Got
called?
it. Got it. Cool.
Passwords and all kind of just things we need for encryption and just the state of the account.
Uh-huh.
And then we've got also the entry database, which is actually similar. So
Yeah.
just the user ID and then coupled to a day and a version number of all the of a journal entry.
Cool. Yeah, so I guess when we set it up, you probably haven't deployed something like this to the internet before, have you?
No, I've not. No.
Okay, yeah. So I guess, and ChatGPT isn't really the most helpful with stuff like that. It will eventually, but um, I guess when we do set it up, we'll have to think about, okay, where are we going to deploy the app, and then where are we going to deploy the database?
Okay.
I'll think of a few options for that. It shouldn't be
Because usually you won't have a database on the same server as your web as where you host your website. You mean?
Yeah, normally they'd be like two hosted services. It's not so common these days to like rent a server, although you could. The thing is like um, when you change your code, you want that to automatically update the server. Also, if the server crashes, you'd still like to maybe have your data somewhere more stable. So like normally they're separated like that. And you can make backups and stuff. So yeah, but that's not too difficult. Yeah. Cool. So yeah, that'll be fun. Let's do some CSS for now. If you're ready.
Yeah. Of course. Maybe I don't know. What do you think would be? We've got a couple of pages, of course. We've got the login page.
Well, let's start with that one. That one's easy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought. So let's see how the HTML looks for that. I don't know. Can you see anything of this? Because I can just close it actually, and maybe it's better like this. Yeah.
Yeah, and we have a feedback from Olivier. He says, for the layout of the questions, you could potentially use expand boxes.
Expand boxes. Let me make a note of that. Great tip. Thanks, Olivier. Ollie.
Thanks.
Okay, so this is the login page. We've got a couple of scripts, and then we've got this is the body, basically.
Cool.
Just the form.
Cool.
And the buttons.
So I was thinking what we could do is like, am I part of this repository on GitHub?
You are, yeah. Well, I've invited you. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. Let me check that out. What's can you I'll hide your screen and can you like just message me the URL of it in the private chat?
Yeah. This one.
Yeah. Okay, perfect.
So it's in the branch HTML.
The invitation expired. I'm sorry.
That's painful. How can I add you again?
Could you please?
Settings, collaborators. Um, oh yeah. Okay.
Okay, should it be good
You
now? Yeah, it should be good. Okay. So I'll share my screen for a bit and then show what we're working with here. Yeah, so
oh my god, commit messages.
that's great.
yeah, I guess.
Cool. No, I mean it's great just to get into the habit of putting in commit messages, you know. Um, awesome. And you have a README here.
Yeah, this is not up to date, by the way.
Okay,
So you can just start with the node twindex.js
cool.
because it's not with HTTPS, just normal
Okay,
HTTP.
cool. Well, for now, what I'm going to do, I think, is I'll just find the login form here. It's this one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And I will make a like a JS fiddle. And I'll see what happens when I just put that in here. It's kind of fun to play around with like this. You can see everything going on. Yeah. So is this roughly? Oh, you also have a style sheet, style.css.
Yeah, but that was just yeah, we can scrap that. That's just bullshit
Oh,
stuff.
really?
Well, this is just what well for the there was just two buttons that had to lay out
Oh, yeah.
the
Okay. No, I
line.
just wanted to see like I just
Well, you
wanted
can
to,
just okay, it works automatically. That's nice. It's just plug
yeah.
and play.
So JS Fiddle is this website where you can just paste in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and then you'll see. Um,
You can fiddle around.
exactly. Yeah. Just fiddling with the code. So yeah. Would you like to start over? This is quite a lot of CSS for that.
For these two buttons. Yeah, let's start over. Let's scrap this.
Cool. Yeah. So it should refresh. Oh no! If I do command return, then it refreshes. Cool. So yeah, there's a lot of ways where like when you're working in VS Code, right?
Yeah.
When you're working in VS Code, you can have the browser sort of automatically refresh when you update things. Tricks like that. But for now, I'll just do it here because it's quite straightforward. Tell me like about you've learned some CSS already.
Yeah, I guess. What do
What
you have
kind
to
of
tell?
stuff? What kind of stuff can you do with it?
So, from what I understand, is that you've got classes,
Hmm.
and then you put everything in a class,
Yeah.
and classes can inherit stuff from other classes or other items in your style sheet. So you
Yeah.
may, so that's why, for example, buttons can all look the same throughout your website. Is what I
Yeah.
understand. You have to use the dot and then something to define a class, I think.
Yeah. Exactly. So like if we have this text input here for the username, and then It doesn't have a class now, but I could say like dot blue, and I can say background color blue. Yeah, and then under the class, I would say under the element, I'd say class equals blue, and yeah, so that's a class. And then there's another way to to add these attributes to elements that's not through classes as well, which is through the ID.
Mm-hmm.
You've done that before. So you,
Yeah, with the hashtag.
yeah, exactly. You can do it like that, or in this case, it would be username or password. Yeah. So the most annoying thing is just looking all this up, but ChatGPT is pretty good with that. So we probably want to start by coming up with a layout that looks good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've got what I've seen before on the internet is that you've got like say a blank. Maybe if I look at the GitHub site login page, let's see how that looks. It's
Yeah.
like
Sure.
a, a, a blank screen, and then with a small uh, window in the center where you can put in your details. You can have a logo and a title, sign in button, something like this. Of course,
Yeah.
not very creative, but maybe something nice to start off with.
Yeah. No, that's great. So what do we need to learn? Basically, how to center things, get them lined up. Mm, yeah, how to make nice spacing between elements. Maybe how to put the forget password thing over here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool. And we can even look here a little bit, like get some inspiration for how they're doing it. I think probably one of the most powerful tools when we're doing like CSS that I did not learn for a while is Flexboxes, and this is basically actually this image is the best. So like something like this. So it basically allows you to use all of these different patterns just by specifying how you want stuff to be lined up. Does it make sense?
Yeah, I guess. Like like you define maybe the cells of a table, the cell size of a table. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. So back in maybe 1995 to 2005, websites were set up using tables,
Okay, yeah.
actual HTML tables, and then people got really tired of that. Then when I first learned, it was basically just making a bunch of divs and then setting the divs to certain percentage widths and heights, and then using align to center them. But the great thing about like a flex box is that it's way more, well, it can be simpler, but then it's also more responsive. So like um, I could have a flex box like this, and then I could say um, I could say, or a grid, for example. I could have a grid, and then when the window gets to a certain size, I can change the number of columns in a grid. With the old way, there was no way to do that. So yeah, I think like flex boxes can save. It's not something that I'm great at, but like it can save a lot of time. So like yeah, let's just just go to
Let's just ask
start out.
what's going on
What?
with Flexboxes.
Yeah, and I'd say like, can you give an example of a Flexbox which has rows, which has multiple rows with text fields, for example. And so here we have like a container div, and then each div inside of that is a row. And then this container is display flex. Let's just run it. Okay, so it's actually used flex twice here. One is to line up the rows, and one is to line up the columns. But what this does is like it ensures that everything here, I believe, has like an even width. Sorry, an even height. So if I would like I can take out these, make this a lot simpler, and then just do, I think I can just do like a lot simpler. Oops. Oh, I thought it would still be set up vertically. Oh. One. These are 3 rows. So they should be showing as rows. So this is sort of like ideally the right way to do it, where you would have like a form, and then so
What is going on? We've got what does flex direction column mean? It's like the width of the column is adjustable, or
yeah, so basically flex direction column means that, here, yeah, that means that that means that whatever's in here will expand horizontally
until the end of the screen or the container thingy.
Yeah. It always confuses me now. Here, so this is kind of flex. So flex direction columns and rows. Right. So when we say flex direction column, it's going to put everything inside of that div lined up in a column. So not that the things inside are the columns, but they're inside of a column. and the opposite, same with row.
Okay.
So basically, it creates this scaffolding where it's a column or a row of things, and it's going to make those things evenly spaced.
Mm.
And that's really nice for like forms and other kinds of elements where you really want stuff to be like evenly spaced in a way. So, and then we can sort of do stuff like, so why am I teaching you this way that I'm not really good at doing? Like, why would I be teaching you that right now? Because when I learned CSS, oh wait, we have a comment, let me see. Oh, we have a comment from AI Stories who said, how many in the chat waiting for their turn to build their ideas? Yeah, if you're waiting to build an idea, just throw it in the chat. We'll get back to you. But why am I teaching this way that like I'm not very good at myself? Because when I first learned CSS, I was basically adding, shifting each row as I wanted to. And if I wanted to add spacing in my form, I would basically go in and change a lot of small things. But this is a nice pattern that can be like simpler overall. But I can show you like a couple ways to do it as well.
No, yeah, we can
Yeah,
try this out.
cool. So we have like this flex direction column. So that means that we're creating a column, and then the gap is 10 pixels. Make it 20 pixels. So that's the gap in between the items in there. And this text field bit, actually, it's not really necessary for this to work. That was just ChatGPT deciding to, be a little smooth. And making the minimum width, making the minimum width here makes sense. Border radius, rounding it out, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'd say this would be like a pretty good way to make a form, where you basically just make a column here, and then you throw stuff inside of that column, so it goes like that. The way that I would have done this, so the other thing that we would have to do, like if we wanted to put labels in here, is you can do something like this, because we're going to need labels eventually. Is we'll probably have to put divs inside of the Flexbox.
So what does div actually stand for?
Div should stand for something like it's, I want to say divider, but it's such a weird thing. What it stands for, I don't know. What it is it's a block.
It's a what? A block?
It's a block.
Okay.
A div is a block, and you can think of it as, when we're looking at something like this, like it is an invisible rectangle on your screen, or even better. Deet says divider comes to mind, but that's confusing because there's another thing in HTML which is also a divider. So, which is called something completely different. A lot of the stuff in HTML doesn't make sense anymore. So, where were we? So we were talking about divs and it's a container. Oh yeah, I wanted to show you something with GitHub here. So if we go into like inspector mode here, you see all these divs, right?
Mm.
And as I put my mouse over them, you see each one is a rectangle. So you can just think of it as an invisible rectangle that you can sort of tweak to move it around in different ways and to line it up. Okay, yeah, Deet says it's called, Deet says it stands for a division. The main thing to think about HTML was originally just meant as a way to organize documents, not as a way to like decide how they look like. So this is like a division in the text. So like here we can put our mouse over things, and you see the different colors here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So within these colors, we have, if I would open this up, we have things that are sort of calculated based off of everything that you put in. So you have the orange part is the margin, and then the green part is the padding. And if I have the way to think about margin and padding, have you come across these before, these ideas?
Yeah, well, a little bit, yes.
Okay, do you know, can you kind of explain what the difference is?
Well, I think so. You've got your border, and
Yeah,
then the padding is, well. Now that I look at the visualization,
yes,
maybe it's like I thought the padding was on the inside to
exactly.
your content, and the margin was on the outside of your content, but of your border. But now I don't understand. Well, it's confusing because you can also have items on the website on top of each other. So, not sure what the margin and padding mean in that at that point.
Yeah,
If you
so
go,
the reason why it's useful is because um, if I would create, a div and let's say border 1 pixel, like a 1 pixel black border, and it's 400 pixels wide and 400 pixels tall. We'd have this here, right?
mm,
And now I want to add like padding in here. That looks better. Now I want to add some space on the outside. That looks a bit better. The main thing is that this border stays the same width. It's always going to be 400 pixels.
yeah,
So yeah, that's some basic CSS. Yeah. So what should we do now?
well, yeah, I would say let's try it out on the login page, right?
Yeah, let's try it out. So here we have a form. Let me sort of.
So I guess you have to make a div around the form to
Uh-huh.
make it to put it in a box, and then center it in some way. Maybe there's already a div defined, and I'm not sure.
Yeah, so actually we can do that. We can also make the form itself a Flexbox. So that's possible as well. So let me give you an example. So let me copy this container class over, and then here, so I just say class equals container. Bam.
Okay, things are happening.
Yeah, that wasn't too hard. It already looks a bit better, doesn't it? And that's the cool thing about using Flexbox. If we wanted to do this like without it, we would have had to put a div around everything in here and line them up and, change the spacing. But now we can add some more spacing, a little less. What would you like to do next?
Yeah, let's see if we can make the forget password. So on the other side of the password label. So we've got the button forget password.
Yeah. Oh, so you would like to, how would you'd like to line these up side by side?
Yeah, so the forget password needs to be on the opposite side of password,
Oh,
and
it's
then
gonna be
smaller.
here.
Yeah, on the other side. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, how do you imagine? There's multiple ways to do it. How would you imagine we could do it?
So what we can do is we can make a table with two cells, and then put the forget password justified to the right, and then we've got it over there.
I love it.
Otherwise, we can maybe make a row Flexbox instead of a column.
Yeah, we could do that. Well, which one would you like to do?
Well, let's try it with the Flexboxes, right?
Sure. I'm down for anything. um, yeah, so guide me through what should I do here? I've got
That's
this
not easy, actually.
div.
So, so we've got the. We need to make a div of the label password, I think.
Right. So here, a div around here.
Yeah. And then in the style sheet, we define another container, a row container or something like this. Maybe.
Sure.
And then we copy over the content of the one above, but then instead of column, we make it row and see
Yeah.
what happens then. And then, of course, the both the divs share the row container class.
Okay, got it. So I should be moving this here or this button.
Well, maybe you can. Should you actually? I don't know. Can you change the class of lost password container to row container?
Oh yeah, sure. Do
And
like this.
then and then do the same and then give the give the password label also the class of row container. See what happens then.
Sure. This one.
Yes.
Okay, so I did
Okay.
it.
Let's
Nothing
see
is
what happens. Oh,
happening. And that's because they've got to be. So the row container just makes a row of the things that are inside this div.
okay. Yeah. So then maybe indeed put the button also in this div.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And I can probably delete this now, right?
Yeah.
Here. Okay. So almost there.
So now we need to justify it to the right somehow.
Yeah. And one thing I would probably do here is because I'm a little confused now, like what is this flex container doing? We can here see that this purple stuff is the spacing in the container. And these are the items in the row. So if this were a normal div here, that wasn't a row container, then we could do something like, and this is the way I used to do stuff myself. We could do stuff like in this button, we could say style equals float right. And this is the way that I made websites for years. But it becomes very messy over time, and it's not responsive either.
Okay.
So when
What
I
happens if you move the if you squish the screen? Okay, but that
it's not
does.
bad,
Mm-hmm.
but you'll notice now that this margin isn't very good. It's okay actually. Um, yeah, but over time, I ran into like some issues doing it this way. And so, yeah, I would like to show you this one, and then also show you the way to do it with the Flexbox as well.
All right.
So let's go back to here. So that's fine. And then what I would do is I'll just go back to the references. So it's like CSS Flexboxes. And we can see here for this sort of spacing, if we're talking about justify content, there's like these different options, right?
Yeah, space between maybe.
Yeah, space between looks great. So if I go back to here, and then in the row container, I would do justify content space between.
There you go.
Okay. And yeah, we didn't have to use the float for that. And now, actually, this is worse in a way.
Yeah, because the button is not. It's getting smaller, or at least more difficult to click.
Yeah.
Why is the you would think that the password part would also.
Would also squish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe if you, if you minimize the screen from the other side.
Fortunately. um, so, fortunately, that's never really going to happen because, like, even on a phone, I don't think it will be so small.
Mm.
But yeah, I think this is helpful for me too to really think through what are the benefits of doing it these different ways.
But we're not done yet, because if I look at the GitHub example,
Yeah.
then also the text is floating a little bit. Uh,
This.
on top. Yeah.
Explain.
Yeah.
Oh,
So what? So it's not on the same level. It's
oh, you
actually.
mean the how it's spaced like this?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. Um, but so in this is do you want this to be a button?
Well, it can also be just the word without the button casing. Let's say
Yeah,
that would be nicer.
that would be nicer. And the way that they've done that here is, well, here it's just a link. Um, now there's a couple of ways to like do that. We could just make it a link, and so you can do something like you have this, right? So you can do something like a link like this. Of course, now you have this, and
Oh yeah.
that's already a bit better.
Mm-hmm.
That does actually, actually that that has one issue, which is that a link needs to have like a destination, but you can do this, which is just sort of like makes it a link that doesn't go anywhere. Um, and yeah, that's just because it's not redirecting. Um, of course, we could also just make it, since all I'm doing is going to
Yeah,
is
but this is just me freestyling. I don't know what I'm doing, so maybe I
we
should have
could,
just put the
we
link
could
right.
we could also do it this way as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's another way to do it. And then we sort of transformed it into this nice link.
Nice.
Is this better? This line?
Yeah, it's getting there. It's getting there. But can you see if you go back to the GitHub example
Yeah.
that actually it's not on the same level. It's just floating a little bit above the center line of the word
Uh,
password.
let me have a closer look here. Like this.
Yeah.
And is it lined up perhaps at the top? At the top? I feel the tops might be aligned.
Oh, okay, and then it's just a smaller font size.
Yeah. So let's see what happens if we make this link here. Class equals forgot password. And then let's see what happens if we make it something tiny. So that actually does work pretty well, right?
It does it all automatically already.
Yeah, I think text just naturally goes to the top of a div rather than the bottom. Although there would be a way, there is like a CSS vertical align, which could bring it to the bottom. Now, yeah, in CSS, there's many ways to size things. One is with points and pixels, but then the more common, more professional way is maybe with like EM, which is sort of just like a ratio. Um, I'm trying to remember what's the right way to do things
Mm-hmm.
for this lesson. I have a lot of years of bad habits with CSS, to be honest. Um, so cool. What should we do next?
So maybe we can. So now the page is the size of the this box is the size of the screen, I guess. Maybe
Yeah,
we can put it into a smaller box and make a nice background.
yeah, we can do that. Cool. How would you do it?
So now I would put the entire form into a div.
Perfect.
Um, and then, yeah, you have to center it with respect to something. Or maybe you can also use Flexbox. I'm not sure.
Can.
Can you go back to the Flexbox example again?
Yeah, so we have this one.
Yeah, maybe you should do a space between again.
Yeah, we can do that. So let me,
With one item.
yeah, we could do that. Could I just give it this class actually?
Hmm.
Almost. Let's have a look. Wait, why did it? Oh, because we haven't specified the width of this form actually. So
Okay.
that's interesting. So like here, this form has a width, and probably stays that width. Oh, and then it finally gets tiny. Well, this is extremely tiny. So yeah, it's like this. So this one probably has a fixed width here of 320. See what I've done there?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You can. Oh, you can toggle it. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So this is how they do it. They
Shows
just have
web.
a form with a width of 320 and then a margin of auto. And the margin of auto is like a trick that just sort of fills up the margin on both sides to make it sound better.
Okay.
So we can do that as well. Like you can do this with the Flexbox. To do it with the to make it like a form box, maybe a bit simpler to do form box um, with 400 pixels, and then margin auto. How wide would you make it? I think it's good.
Um. How. I think I can be a little bit smaller because you like username is already maybe now
Yeah.
5 times as it's now 5 times as big as username. I'm not sure how many people there are with the username that long. Maybe
Yeah.
password. Yeah. This
Cool.
looks better. Yeah.
What should we do with this register as a new user up here?
So sometimes when you visit a new website or a website that you can maybe I can if you go to Strava for example, is that this is just another example. If you go actually okay, maybe go to Strava.com without all the rest of it. Yeah, this one. So if you go to this page, then actually the login is a tiny button at the top, and then
Yeah.
all the focus is on registering new people. So you've got this big
Oh.
section where you can register. I don't know, there was just something that came to mind. So maybe your registration button should actually be the biggest button in the website.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. So where should we put it?
Maybe you can go, yeah, maybe at the top,
Yeah.
and then a big button the size of the width of the text input
Mm-hmm.
on top, and, and then a bright color as background, and then
Mm-hmm.
the login button should be on the bottom, but then far smaller in width. So you got that distinction, maybe.
Wait, say that last part again.
So maybe then the login button is smaller but centered.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, we can do that. Okay. So we have this registration. I'll leave this at registration button here. and it's not centered probably because of it's not centered. Hmm. Hmm. Ah. Well, that's probably why, because it was not display block. So in order to make it act like a div, sometimes you have to add this bit, display block.
Okay.
Yeah. Now it acts like a div. So we could also, well, what we could also do is I'm just realizing now, like, oh no, we want this to be outside of the login box, right? And you want that login box to have like a background, do you?
Maybe so the box itself can be just plain, or at least yeah. And then outside of the login box, you may have a background color or maybe a background image.
Okay. So something like
Yeah.
and then your login box itself.
Yeah. And then we have to do some. Now we have to increase the margin.
Yes. What should I make the margin?
Yeah, let's try that.
And then that broke our margin auto there. However, maybe you haven't seen this exactly before, but just to go back to this, let me stop me if you've seen this before. But
Mhm.
we're doing margins here. And here I have margin of 10 pixels. This is top, bottom, left, and right. If I would do, it's kind of not letting me click here. If I would do 10 pixels and then 20 pixels, then it's going to be, the first one is for top and the bottom.
Mhm.
Second one is, have you seen this?
No.
Okay. And then if we would do, yeah, and then you can actually do four. If you put four numbers in, I believe it's then top, then right, and then bottom, and then left, or something like that. So
Sounds about right.
yeah. So
Clockwise.
I think it is. I can't remember. So, anyways, here if we would put in like 20 pixels and then auto, then we'll get that margin up there.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. So
But how can we increase the width? How can we now increase the? Should it be with padding?
yeah, with padding. So I put padding.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, but interestingly, the padding. So the padding did make it wider. Okay, did make it wider. So I'm not sure if that's bad.
Yeah, because how can you now? Oh, the registration button should then be 340, I guess,
Yeah.
to match the width of the box.
Well, what we could do is we could actually maybe add something to the form. So the form is a container, has a container class. It's called form container, and then I can add margin 10 pixels to there. Oh, that didn't go well. Oh, because there's one up here. So that did not go well. I would add it here. Yeah, it's added it to the sides now. Or we could just make this a padding. And now it's, yeah, now it looks pretty decent, right? So boxes in boxes.
Nice.
That's the answer.
And then suppose we want to center this in the web page, in the page,
Horizontally?
vertically. I think horizontally is already pretty centered, right?
Yeah. Well, first of all, you should know that centering things vertically in CSS is one of the hardest challenges in computer science. A few ways to do it.
Master thesis.
Let me quickly look up a reference here. Okay. So, according to this, I think that we could center it vertically. So do vertically. Using something ridiculous like this. See, I'm not even joking. It would be these three lines of code.
Because I guess the problem is that you're meant to scroll through a website, so there's no bottom on a website, or what do you mean?
Yeah. Actually, I think that you've pretty much gotten to the bottom of it. So it's not like it's not actually too common for that reason. And then if we look at like GitHub, even you'll see this, like it's actually not. But we can, like, just for funsies, we can do it. Right? So I'll copy this.
Breaking the universe.
And yeah, I mean, I'll just throw it in here. So to the form, we're gonna have another class. No, we need form box. Okay, so yeah, one thing broke because here they have margin 0. So that sort of, however, we did get that effect. And then we can fix that. We could go and fix that. What do you prefer for your form? You want to have it fixed?
Can we? So the top of the web page is fixed, so you can reference items to the top of the page. Yeah, let's do that then. I think that's
Yeah, I think
easier.
that's quite sensible. And yeah, like honestly, you can also just use margin for that as well. Yeah, AI Story says, who doesn't like purple? there's a lot of great CSS colors actually that people just don't know about. Like you have stuff like deep pink, floral white, gold, indigo, magenta. It's a lot of good stuff.
It's really difficult to arrive or to derive your own color with the color wheel or the palette widget, right?
What do you mean?
Well, if you so you've got these widgets, right? Maybe also here a color palette generator, maybe something like this, but where you can pick a color and then a hue and brightness, and then usually it looks like shit if you do it yourself. If you pick a color, if you design a color code yourself, it looks like shit.
Yeah, yeah. It's all trial and error for me. It still looks pretty bad. So yeah, we'll come back to that. So yeah, I would probably just yeah. What should we do now?
Um, so let's look at an example again. So I guess, um, yeah, cannot add a title.
Oh wait, AI Stories says I have an idea. I'm sorry, you can continue.
No, yeah, I guess to make the rest of the page is just more iteration, more of the same.
Hmm. How
Um,
so?
well, suppose we want to add a title.
Yeah.
We just do the same as what we did with the registration button, I
Yeah,
guess.
we can do that. So here's like register as the user, and then I could even put it in the same container if I wanted to. Now, what happens if I change this to this? Oh, it it oh, of course, because the button is now not the full uh, width. So if I would want to, so right now we have like the registration button is set to be like this width.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like a kind of like a what I could do is I could change this to the registration container. So now, well, everything is kind of centered. Everything is in this box, which is centered. I don't need this display block anymore. Now I can actually add, I can say the registration button is with, can you do full? No, 100%.
Ah,
And I can say text align center. We might even do like change a color scheme here. You know, or we could even say something like light cyan. How does it work? Light. Oh yeah, it does. Yeah, we can even choose it whatever color we want here. Oh wait, that just made all of the text. That wasn't a good idea. I just made all of the text white again. AI story says add inline SVG to the input. I think I know
what?
what you're saying.
SVG.
I think they're saying to put in icons. I think that's what they're saying.
Well, great that people are still with us after 1.5 hours of CSS.
Like a small triangle, they're saying. Where would you put that? I totally get it. Oh, that moves up and down from username to password. Well, there's an idea.
I don't get it.
Ralph, you're the king here. This is your side. So,
Well, yeah, I think this is
what do you think?
looks pretty nice.
We've written about 41 lines of code,
Yeah.
added some classes. You can definitely adjust the color scheme.
Yeah. No,
You find palatable.
I would. I will. I will look into that. See what color palettes.
Could I also suggest that we maybe add some of this nice code, for example, to, let's see, we add a bit of code. That doesn't look too bad, does it? But it's up to you. AI Story says it's always fun to watch smart people problem solve and build stuff. It's always fun to build stuff with cool people, Ralph.
Yes.
It's been the best part of my life.
Thanks for the compliment.
So, yeah. Why don't we? I mean, it's probably late for you, right?
Yeah, it's about 9:30.
So why don't I pass off this code to you,
Mm-hmm.
and
Sounds good.
you can maybe play around a bit with the styling. I hope. Do you think this has been helpful?
Yeah, definitely. Well, of course, and it was also a lot of fun. So
Yeah, it goes by fast, and yeah, hopefully this like helps you to get started and gives you some feeling for what writing CSS is like, which is
Mhm.
like a lot of ways to do the exact same thing, and sometimes you just try out some different ways and see what works. Um,
Yeah,
and yeah, we can do more of this, or next time, like um, we could actually just deploy the website so people can
yeah,
use
yeah. I was thinking the same. I'm just gonna let this marinate and work. Let the juices flow through the entire website, um, and then we can. Next video, we're gonna deploy it.
Hell yeah, we are. And everyone here should make sure that they are following our channel, that they're
Oh,
subscribed. So,
also, if I may ask something, James, to the viewers, if you can suggest maybe cool names for this website or web app, that
and
will
just
also
to
greatly
summarize
appreciate.
what it is for the people that join later.
Oh yeah, so if this is a app or a website where you can journal, uh, it's to reflect on your day, um, yeah, and get your clear your mind also.
Yeah, and I recommend, if you didn't see the beginning, I recommend scrolling back to the first 10 minutes because it's really awesome. Rolf takes us through the whole application, what you can do with it. You can like create a unique journal entry for each day with all of your with like a lot of information about your energy throughout the day, your emotions, and then this is all encrypted. and stored in like a nice way that you can kind of see all that data from your past journal entries.
Exactly.
Yeah, next time we are going to GTFOL, which stands for get the F off of localhost.
Oh, okay, yeah. Let's do it. Okay. Well, then, thank you for the help. It's great.
Yeah, Rolf, awesome, cool. Well, it's been fun, and yeah, everyone tune in next time so you can actually try this app out.